What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Hope you guys are doing the best you possibly can be. It's a rough day. First, September 11th, obviously, is quite quite a horrific time for America. I remember exactly where I was. It's one of those days probably everybody remembers where they were on that day. I was in high school in New York on that day, and it was just a wild, wild day and following a couple days after. And then you got obviously some horrific news with Charlie Kirk yesterday. Just rough. It's rough. Tough to do a show. Tough to talk about stocks, but we're here for stocks, so we'll go through it. Try to stay away from any political stuff. I know everybody is watching what happens, and it's crazy. But we did have CPI come out today. CPI came in with in line. I think the core CPI was in line, and then once you add in food and energy, we have slight actually came in a little hot. I think we came in point 0.4. We were looking for a point 0.3, so a little bit higher on that end. Initial reaction was market drops. We also had job numbers after everything. Market is still gap and go for today. So let's check some levels on a pullback if we get that, and we'll see. Let's see. Let me check where we actually pulled back on that news. We got 652.83. We pulled back right into 652, right about 652 on the initial CPI numbers and job numbers that came out at 8:30 this morning. Uh, Tim says, congrats to all the Nvidia holders. Juicy dividends paid today. Got the drip on. Got that dividend reinvestment. Here we go. Otherwise, so we've already kind of come down to the zone. We've retested it. We actually exceeded past through it, and bulls were able to get back up. For today, I'd say we're still probably with this gap and go leaning a little bit more to the bullish side. Fantastic candle yesterday. I can't stress that one enough. That was a perfect retest, almost perfect retest. If this thing retested a little bit lower, but we took that VPOC outside of that range from the last couple days and probably last few weeks. Looks like the market to me wants to go higher. I'm looking at psychological level. Obviously, would be the all-time high for me. 654.55. You also have 655. Good psychological number. Right, right in front of it. Lucian says I'm retiring off that. All right. Lucian's cashing in his check. His Nvidia paycheck. If you hold it for 10 years, you get a gold watch, I believe. That's what corporate America used to do. No? So we'll see. Watch the 652.83. It is inside day, so that's the only thing that might give us a little hiccup for a straight up market open and run. If we could open a little higher, we'd probably get that gap and go. We got the Qs. Qs are inside day as well. Not past the closing price, so actually a little, or not past the opening price yet, like the SPY is doing. So a little weaker, I guess. However, still a really nice retest candle. We are having a gap and go moment, which is not bad. And then we are above this 582.22, surviving a whole bunch of news. So far, it looks like the Bulls still in control. Let's see if we get a small little pullback on Qs, and let's see if we can hold this 582.22 zone. And if so, we'll see if we get a decent looking bounce off of that. Let's check out Bitcoin. Bitcoin is chilling for now. Really nice day yesterday. Again, that closed fantastic. I would have been looking for, and so far actually today is actually looking pretty fantastic too, even though we're red. I'd be looking for, or I would have been looking for, and I think we talked about this probably prior to yesterday, this 113,676 zone. We were able to break that out. We are kind of sitting right now at yesterday's VPOC, but the low of today kind of got us right into that prior resistance, should be support. So I do appreciate the bulls kind of bouncing off of that spot. And let's see if they can continue to do so and push Bitcoin a little bit higher. All right, let me know if you guys got tickers that you guys want to take a look at. The first one I see, and it's not a comment of let's check it out, but they do pay some divvies. So you got your 1 penny divvy. So if you own, think about this. You guys are making fun of 1 penny. If you own 1 million shares, that's a at $10, I think. I think you get. Let me see if I carried the one correctly on that one. Maybe. Tim says my son's Nvidia basis is 447. So here's the thing with the divvies. Most the fact, I mean, check Apple's divvy. I think it's like 6 cents or something wild, 50 cents. I don't know what it is. Uh, a lot of the tech companies, they're more about growth than paying the divvies. It's more so the company has so much money left over, they have to try to figure out what to do with it, and they just pay it out to people. But with tech constantly developing, updating, upgrading, you typically make more on the asset than you do. So I think it's a little extra gift. I don't think anybody is looking at Nvidia. Even dividend people going, oh man, Nvidia's got 1 penny divvies. Let me jump in Nvidia for for my paycheck in the future. But I think it's a little extra bonus. You get, especially if you got the drip on, you get some extra appreciation. And if Nvidia, which is now largest company ever, but if it continues to grow, you'll have a you'll actually gain more than one penny on that actual dividend because the asset appreciates more so. But if you're looking at like Johnson and Johnson, you can only sell so much baby powder. That's it. I mean, what are you innovating on baby powder? I don't know. You got Nvidia though, looks good today. Nice little gap up, still inside day candle. I do like the fact that we are, well, number one above yesterday's VPOC, but two above the VPOC from August 22nd. See if we get a pullback. I don't know if we get a full-on retest. It certainly could happen. It's close enough, but full-on retest would take me to 177.86. Otherwise, I like to see bulls put in a little fight at 178.31 as support. You do have a resistance not too far away. That's going to take you to 180.33. And that's the next spot I really want to see a close above. The main closes, obviously, we start getting above, I think, 181.79 on a daily. I don't think that happens today. We just really wild day yesterday. Good momentum, but I don't know. Also, September, we talked about this prior to September. September is historically one of the weakest times in the market. I don't know if that's going to set us up for a really nice Santa Claus rally in December or not. We'll see how it plays out. But if this is the weakest and we're hitting all-time highs on most things, uh, I don't know. Like it's either we're using all our bullish coins up now, and then we just don't get Santa Claus rally, or that rally just is crazy. We'll see. AMD pulling back a little bit. I was looking at this one yesterday for a potential trade. I kind of wanted to play a little bit of a balance on it. I did stay away from it just because it didn't ever really get back down to where I wanted to see it. So with that kind of gap, I would have liked to see probably about 160.37 hold. As soon as we started dropping past that, uh, I kind of almost want to see two spots. Again, we talked about this little 3 bar reversal yesterday for AMD. So we have the opening here, we got the close here, we got all price action here. I'm looking for two spots. One of them being this VPOC that's just not been retested yet, or at least minimum get me into a retest of the top of that candle. So somewhere right around 157.14. That being said, and then the VPOC I'm looking for is like 154.30. I think would be a very interesting spot. But we do have that 50 EMA. Maybe we could get a little help support from that. Again, not a great open, but how many times, besides yesterday, how many times have we seen not so great opens on AMD and they just don't let it drop? So I'd rather, I think, play it long until I start to see that most of the supports really aren't holding, uh, then try to short this one. Does not look great today. You do have some support coming in. I think you got some room to the downside. I don't think I'm going to go short on it just because in this area it was tough. In this area, obviously, it's a little tough for the bears to just really take over control. So if we could pull back, I'd be interested in probably buying it and playing into what I'm noticing is a little actually strength down there than opposed to just weakness. So we'll see on that front. But yeah, interesting open at least. We'll see where that one wants to go. Amazon is chilling for now. A little bit of a gap and go, but still inside day candle. I think this one does come back into the support 231.48. Um, that being said, you got your resistance at 232.70. If we get candles to close above it, fantastic. I think you get some more room to probably about 234.93. A wild day would probably take us to 236.43. I don't think we get there today. We'll see. That 234.93 looks a little juicy, but I would assume at open you get a probably green candle. I think we end up fading a little bit later in the day. We come down to this 231.48 and then see if we get some kind of support there. If we do, that's probably your bounce spot, makes it a little easier to pass that first resistance and then take us that. So I'll probably be patient on open. Not a great looking candle from yesterday. That is a bearish engulfing candle. Maybe a little overdone, but did just push us right into that 20 EMA. We have still a wide open gap. A little abandoned baby on it actually. But I think this is a buy the dip. I don't know if that we close this not immediately at least 225.67. And yeah, let's I'd be interested in buying this dip actually instead of looking to go short on Amazon. ANET. ANET is a little bit of a retest gap. That looks like a fantastic candle yesterday. Again, I don't want to chase it up here. If we get a pullback into 150.67, that would be yesterday's VPOC. That's where I'll be looking to buy it. I think we're at all-time highs, I believe. So I got nothing really above me, but really, really good gap and go. Well, technically a little retest gap, and then really these two candles kind of play in and help squeeze out some of those bears. So really, really good open for today, but we'll see if there's a little potential pullback. Carl says, MU, if you can, I absolutely can. MU has been kind of on fire. hmm I'm happy I was buying it around like 80, 85, 86. But yeah, looks really, really good. How much more room can MU put in? Uh, a lot. Big, big level for me, 152.59. So even for today, which we're opening in a good spot, that would be my target for today. If we get candles that close above it, next target becomes 156.20, and then you're sitting at all-time highs on MU. Is that correct? What a push fairly quickly. Nice move. Yep. That's kind of crazy. Looks good though. Again, the one thing I would have an issue with on a day trade is buying it up here. What helps to maybe get a little more aggressive is that was just an indecision candle. It wasn't really like complete bullish, but you also have one, two, three, four bullish candles before that. Technically, that was another up day. Um, I think you might have a little element of retest, but I really like where we're opening. We got all that volume below us, kind of opening into a small volume zone, nothing too crazy. And then, yeah, I think anything above probably 141.77 takes us higher. But I've got shares I put in the long term when it was a lot lower. So I'm not going to panic or sell. Baba. Baba looks interesting. Again, lots of buying ahead of this, kind of igniting the flame somewhere on August 29th with that gap up. You have that little pullback, and so there's your retest S curve, and kind of looking like we're trying to continue to go higher, but really good open for this one. Um, I think a lot of you might be trapping some bears on this one. Again, one, two, three monster days in a row. You haven't really closed any of those gaps below us. You have a gap and go yesterday. I think bears probably licking their chops, going, this is the moment. Let's get some puts. Let's get some shorts. Let's wait for that gap to close. I think we might be trapping some people from yesterday on that one. Very interesting move. Let's put this one higher. That might be one of the top on my list for today. Retest, if it does, look for 146.47. Baba does kind of act a little strange, but if we get that pullback 146.53. Otherwise, I don't think I'd really mind being kind of aggressive on a trade for Baba. So we'll see what that opening candle looks like. UNH. Mm, actually looks really good too. We are gapping above yesterday. Yesterday was green, so technically retest gap today. Yesterday and today, both inside of this candle, still from the 9th from Tuesday. I can't believe today's Thursday already. That's wild. Uh, I don't think I would chase this one. I get why somebody would though. It looks pretty nasty for continuation today. Target 377. That's a lot still in the bag for it. Let's see how this one opens. Primarily, not really where it opens because right now it's opening good unless something crazy happens in the next 12 minutes. But if we get a little pullback first, I'd be heavily watching this 347.70 zone for continuation. You also have now yesterday's VPOC, which could also give you a little support under there. Yeah, I kind of like this one for continuation day. Nothing really holding us back. I don't think we have any volume whatsoever. Nope. Zero volume for an extended period of time, which takes us to like 375. Yeah, that looks really good. That also looks a little inverted, almost inverted head and shoulders. Not picture perfect, but got a little element of inverted head and shoulders. I like that one for continuation today. Looks good to me. Uh, Me says, what's wrong with AMD? Will they join the party? They kind of already been in the party though. Yeah, don't forget a couple months ago they were sitting at $80 and everybody hated them. I remember that. I wrote it in my diary. I was like, "Dear diary, today everybody claims AMD is the worst." Did we look at Tesla yet? I think we didn't. I know I did pre-market or pre-jumping on. But yeah, Tessie is still battling this 350 zone. Really good day yesterday on Tessie. So the first one, they got me. They tricked me. Um, Not a fan. Not a fan of the trickery. But we opened good. We had a decent looking setup. They threw that high wave candle I like. I liked everything about the setup, except for probably the entry price where we were getting in, honestly. Because the patient me would have been like, let's whatever. I just miss it. I miss it. But I was like, this thing does have room to 361. I got 362 on my chart. I think we're trying to get there. We just have a battlefield right here, right around this 351 zone. So again, yesterday when we were setting it up, I was like, man, that was this pullback. The bulls came in, they threw that. It was like more of a high wave candle. So they finally got me in. They skipped me first. They got me in. They pulled back. They stopped me out. That was a beautiful stop out on their part. And then I was looking at the zone that we were at. So this is what we were looking at for a day trade basis. As we got that pullback, this is what I was looking at anyway. Um, After that initial pullback, we're just hanging out at yesterday's VPOC on a 3 minute time frame, and we were able to get a good setup here for 3 hours on that trade moving up. I think we carried it almost to the top. It went a little another dollar or so past it, but so we were able to take advantage. So we lost one, got three, and we made 2 hours on Tessie. I think we could almost do the same thing today. Again, we have a little resistance from back in June 23rd. Same spot for resistance, May 30th. After that, we got a couple psychological levels. I don't really have anything else till 361. So it's a process to get there. We have to, yeah, yesterday's VPOC at least now at 354.13. So even that close higher. Gap and go for today, right at that resistance. So we'll see if we could get that taken out. But to me, it looks good. And then I do have some calls I bought yesterday as we got the second chance to almost take the same trade. So somewhere toward the end of the day, I was like, yeah, I think Tessie's gonna go. I think I mean, providing we had good CPI and CPI didn't kill the market, so I'm still alive in it. But um, we'll see. But I think this one could go a little bit higher. I think we could at least get back to this 354 zone and potential chance to break that out today. So I am definitely watching Tessie. We'll see if we can do it again. We got Hims. Hims is was kind of a little all over the place yesterday as well. The close, okay. It's kind of like we just did the same thing 2 days in a row, closing almost pretty much identical spots. Um, there's your big support. We've talked about this one, 47.69. If that breaks down, watch out below. I think you got 44.65 in the cards. Otherwise, gap and go for today. Monster resistance somewhere around this $50.27. We've now been through that once, twice, pretty much all these days. This one very small, but gap and go again. I think we're just gonna battle chop here for so inside day of two just monster gap up and sell off type days. So let's see if we get another day or two. Otherwise, we start breaking 49.96. And especially like this $50 zone, $50.32. I think that puts in that next move, but good double bottom right off that 200. We're just consolidating, I think, a little. So I don't know if today's the day for Hims. If it wants to pull back, probably buy the dip. We know where that support is, 47.79, and we'll see if we can get that move from there. Lemonade, LMND. Not a fantastic looking candle. Definitely bearish engulfing candle. Not a fantastic open. The close was actually awful for Lemonade yesterday. Closing below what should have been support, 49.56, and today we're opening into what should have been that support yesterday, and we just couldn't hang. Not saying this thing opens and just nosedives down. I could see maybe a retest into $50.18, but to me this looks kind of weak. Next target on this one, I think, would take us down to 47.83. Almost have been there already, and then we got 46.39 is a big one. So I don't think we have bullish sentiment yet creeping in. If we could get above, we even had some okay volume. It wasn't even crazy, but okay volume yesterday. If we get closing today or at any point above $50.18, if you're a bull on Lemonade, that might be your first cue of, all right, maybe we go bullish. At least you get good risk reward at that point, where you can throw your stops probably back under $49, something like that. So very little risk reward. You'll probably be at 2 hours by the time you hit the next resistance, 52.86. But for right now, it still looks a little bit shaky. We will see. All right. What about Ford? I don't. Has Ford moved in 10 years? I don't know. Look at that, a little uptrend. Nice. This is. I know we're talking day trading, but this is quite the range on on Ford. I think these lines that I drew are from. I don't know when I taught that class. 4 years ago, something like that. Just well-defined higher end range, well-defined support. Even recently, this is April of 2020. We got right back down to support coming from March of 2009. So we've been in this range. I don't know. As a long-term hold, I mean, they have divvies, I guess. Let's see what their divvy looks like. 15 cents. 15 cents, but on $11 and $45 stock. So, uh, let's go to a day trade on it. Nothing really crazy for day trading. We know we're not at the higher end of this, so maybe you got some room. It just doesn't really move that crazy. Other than that, even to a pullback sense, let's do a quick fib. We got some tweezers down there. That's kind of cool. Uh, on a pullback, you got 11. What is that? $11.27 would be your 50% retracement. We almost made it to that. So I think we're just kind of hanging out for now. I don't know if unless they have some kind of news that I don't know about, but I don't know if they have any catalyst today. Gap and go, nice little hammer, decent volume. If you want to take a break above $11.51. You should have room to 11.67, something to that effect. SWBI. And then let me know if I've missed any tickers too. Smith and Wesson brands, they're probably actually getting a pump, unfortunately, on the negative news. They usually do. Um, Other than that, they historically do better in Democratic leadership than Republican, where if if the Democrats' narrative, again, don't want to go into political stuff, but if the Democrats come in and they have a harder stance on guns, that usually drives sales up for Smith and Wesson. Where Republicans are obviously a little bit more um, Second Amendment and not so much of a urgency for people to be like, let me buy guns prior to banning. So again, longer term holds, good double bottom on it today. Obviously, with just everything in the news, they're probably getting a bump. This is a little bit of a retest gap as well. You are slightly above that 200. And maybe this is low enough where you could probably even cruise it out for a little bit and have a decent trade. But maybe as a swing, I don't think I would day trade this one. I just not really prone to day trading it. But good double bottom at least on a technical basis. You're still kind of in that downtrend a little bit. If this one does retest, you might have a decent swing opportunity on that. Let's see what else we got. Well, we got about a minute and a half left. I'm seeing if I missed anything else. SMCI. SMCI kind of had a little bit of bullish momentum yesterday. Gave most of that back. Let's see, are we opening anywhere significant? Right below that 200 still, right below that 100. It is a gap and go for today, but heavy resistance on SMCI. I think if we could start getting above 44.50, you might see something come in. Oh, there was another stock. Open. Open was moving. I know we talked about this one yesterday. And again, on the day trade perspective of things, be careful. It's tough. As a little swing where I'm like, hey, if you buy a couple shares, this one's got a lot of room to move. But so far that is paying out. You have $5.86 close. Very, very tough to call what this one's going to do at open. Definitely a gap and go. Definitely could go much higher than here, but try to pick your spots on that one. Otherwise, that is the show. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you have not done so already.